Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another morning where we are going to reinvent ourselves, recharge ourselves, and become positive in a world that is always and already influencing us to be negative. So we want to create a life that we love, and that's what we are doing. So we have a conversation here, guys. So today's conversation begins by me welcoming back an absconder, Sagar Acharya, who's been, he's become quite a traveler now. So now he's traveling to Lumbini, and despite that, he's chosen to be with us. So that's very nice. So, also, anybody other than me wants to say something to begin the conversation?
Good morning, sir. Welcoming Darshana ji also after a long time.
Yeah, of course. We already welcomed her wholeheartedly before you joined. So it's nice to see her so bright, no? With bright clothes also.
Thank you.
Kuldeep ji, good morning. So who's going to start the conversation today?
Well, you have already started. We'll continue.
Yeah, all right. So continue.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, friends.
Good morning, everybody. All right. So let's quickly review what we are doing here in Empowering Morning Conversations for the benefit of those who are joining for the first time or who may be watching us for the first time on YouTube. All right. Empowering Morning Conversations about what? So it'll be good now, each one of you say one line about, for you, what is Empowering Morning Conversations? One sentence from each person. What is Empowering Morning Conversations for you?
For me, it's rediscovering their life.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Kunan. Rediscovering life.
For me, the word empowering says it all.
For you, the word empowering says it all. All right. Next person.
For me, learning every day in my life.
Okay, very nice. Thank you very much for sharing that.
From default mode, shifting from default mode to a create mode.
Shifting from default mode to a create mode. All right. Who's next? Come on. One sentence. Neeti.
Yes, sir. For me, it is realigning myself with the changing times and changing life.
Okay, realigning yourself with changing life and changing times. Abhinav?
Yeah, for me, it is like keeping myself inspired and motivated on a moment-to-moment basis in life.
Okay, wonderful. And Shakti?
Yeah, what else is possible? We are here, possibility seekers are here.
Okay, so what else is possible is what we are looking at. Okay, who else?
For me,
Yeah. Go on, Hasina ji.
yeah, for me, it is rediscovering myself.
For you, it's rediscovering yourself. All right, very nice. Thank you very much. Samina ji.
Yeah, it's an eye-opening and inspiring session that I come to every morning.
Okay, wonderful. Henry.
For me, it's the most beautiful way to start a day.
Okay, very nice. Thank you very much. And Rama. Okay, Ashok ji. Okay, so that's Sagar.
For me, living in creation mode, not in default mode, creation mode.
Okay, wonderful. So that is our wonderful participants' take on what is Empowering Morning Conversations and what is in it for them. And the purpose of these Empowering Morning Conversations is to allow all of life to come to me with ease, joy, and glory. So when I say me, it doesn't mean only me. So if you say me, it means you too, right? So all of life, not only the life which you deem as a nice life, but all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. So what we are doing here is shifting from the survival mode to the create mode. Okay? So you know what the survival mode is because that's what we are doing all the time. The things that we have to do to keep our job, to keep our business, to keep our family comfortable, things that we have to do, as opposed to creating a life. So we are so busy with the humdrum rat race of life, we very rarely get a chance to create our life. Except if you are like Sagar Acharya, young man, he can create his life quite a bit. So right now he's traveling to Lumbini, and he spent the whole 2 months, I think, traveling here, there, and everywhere. So create mode is what we are moving to, dealing with things that don't allow us to live in a create mode, right? Then in these sessions, we try and, we don't even try, we do dissipate all negativity we pick up from other people and from circumstances of our life to bring to becoming a possibility seeker rather than a complainer. Okay, now here you find another category of people also, and sometimes, we are surrounded by them sometimes. These people, their only job in life is to put other people down so that they can feel great about themselves. Have you met people like that? Whatever you say, he'll say, you don't know anything, I know better than you.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we are sometimes even, what shall I say, subtly gaslit by them. Okay, so are they possibility seekers? So there are many ways in which we are not being possibility seekers. When we have a desire to be right, when we have a desire to dominate others or avoid the domination of others, we are actually cutting out possibilities and awareness in our life. Na? So we need to watch out for that. And we also want to do something to increase our focus and energy, because these are two things which you require, to produce humongous results in your life. So today, what I wish to speak to you about is something called curiosity. And I also want to talk to you about the fact that, are you really interested? See, you are interested, so you get up early in the morning, you come here at, 7 a.m., attending a session for 1 hour. And this is not an easy session, because I'm asking you a question which makes you think. And we generally don't like to think very much. I'm not talking about you personally. I'm talking on the whole. So don't become serious. So are you curious? Are you interested? What I've been noticing is with more and more people, they are less than less interested. Yeah. So even when they meet somebody, they are more interested to know, will this person be useful for me? Right? We are not curious about anything else. So yesterday I was in a conversation with someone who has made his mission in life to, tell everybody else that they are wrong. Right? And he was doing that with me also. Okay, what do you know? And this and that. So I said, hello. Are you ever interested to know what the other person knows? You get it? I mean, okay, I grant you that you're a very wise guy and you know a hell of a lot of stuff. But have you ever considered that the person you're talking to, what does he know? What has he experienced in his life? So you know what the answer I got? I'm not interested. Okay, so I'm wondering, and this is a phenomena I'm seeing in a lot of people. So a lot of people, especially in corporate, when you're talking to them, they'll say, oh yeah, tell me more. But you can actually make out that they are not actually listening. So let's not be sitting in judgment of those people or anybody else for that matter. I am saying, here is a phenomena we are observing, and I want you to look into your life and see, are you seeing that phenomena happening with you in your life? Now, one of the reasons, so let's not get into why we are not curious, why we are not interested. So there are things in which we are interested, there are things we are not interested. There are things we are curious about. Like a child is curious about everything, right? He's excited about everything. Are we? Yes, Kunanji. Bataiye.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I think it's a very important question, sir. Normally, what I practice whenever I meet some new person, I consider that person as a learning pod for me. So I focus on that specific person and try to understand what can I learn from him. Because I remember you had told once, because when I'm meeting a new person, I will find new perspective of certain things. So I try to be curious and consider the person as a learning pod, learning instrument. Maybe I can learn something from him. So that helps me a lot, though the judgment comes, but with that intention, it helps sometimes. Sir.
Yeah, because you are interested.
Right.
If you are not interested, you wouldn't be doing that, right?
Right.
You are interested. Okay, so I can learn something. I can enrich myself with a different perspective. I can enrich myself with a different point of view. Yeah. So that's what you do. Now, I am also asking you to examine in which areas of our life we are cutting out this curiosity, we are cutting out our interest. How many things are there in our life where we are not even interested? And we are blocking ourselves out from experiencing a new experience or knowing a new person, or like Kunan said, learning from a new person. Okay. So what is the difference between a person who's full of himself? So we'll have Hasina ji explain to you what is a person whom we call as full of himself.
Selfish,
Okay, what else?
self-centered,
And what else?
Narcissist.
Okay, what else?
care two hoots for somebody.
Anybody else? What else?
Mr. Know-it-all.
Mr. Know-it-all.
Egoistic.
Okay. And?
बेवकूफ.
वो मुझे नहीं पता. वो तो
Arrogant.
Arrogant. What else? Now, can you imagine? Do you think this any person, or we certainly don't want to become like that, do we? Why? Because that's one of the ways in which you stop receiving, right? And when you stop receiving, you will do more of that drama. And then you will receive less. Okay, so what I'm asking us all to consider is that it's fine to look at somebody and feel good about it, that he's doing like this and I'm not. But maybe useful to look into ourselves and see where all in our life we are doing this. Okay? Where all in our life are we doing this? For example, if you have made a conclusion about someone, you're not, curious to know anything else about that person, are you? Like how many people are there in our life where we will say, I don't want to have anything to do with this person? Correct? Now, internally, you may have said that I don't want to have anything to do with this person, right? But you do maintain cordial relationships with them.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is that? We give it a name. It's called keeping a comfortable distance. Now, in that situation, are you curious to know more about that person and, see, because the moment we conclude something about anything, then aren't you saying, I know? Aren't you becoming a Mr. Know-it-all or Mrs. Know-it-all? What happens to our curiosity after you made your conclusions about something and someone? So that's one of the ways where, you'll find that you are not retaining your interest. Yeah. So how many times we say, okay, I'm not interested in that person anymore. I don't want to know. Now that's as far as relationships go. But what about so many other things in life? Now, so this is the part where you look into yourself and share if you wish to. Like, what are we discovering in this area? That how many things in our life we are blocking, hence we are not all interested. Now, one big excuse people will give is that I don't have time. I'm so focused. See, you are curious about something doesn't mean you jump into it and spend all your time into it. But at least you're open about it. So how many young people are there who are not at all curious about anything which, they're not interested in what the elders have to say. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
They have made a conclusion of what these elders are going to tell us. They don't know anything, we know.
Or sometimes when somebody keeps repeating the same thing.
No, that is the reason you are giving.
Okay, all right.
Ashokji, I'm muting you. You can unmute when you wish to speak. Yeah, all right. So enough from my side. I think, provoked you enough to think and look into your own life and see where are you blocking your curiosity? Where are you blocking being interested? The difference between a small child and us is child is interested in everything. So he has more fun in life. Isn't it? So where all have we blocked it? That's the question for the day. Yes, Reddy Garu.
Sir, I block many people because with the previous experience of wherever I am uncomfortable speaking to them or spending time with them, I'll try to avoid, sir. That's my normal. That's how I'm blocking people, sir.
Yeah. So now what has happened in that case is you have a judgment.
Yes, sir.
And that judgment does not allow you to honor.
Yes, sir.
Or trust.
Yeah.
Or to be in allowance.
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is a good point. You're saying that when I judge somebody in a certain manner because they did something uncomfortable, after that, I'm not interested in them anymore. I'm more interested in not being in their presence because I might get hurt or they may insult me or whatever. The thought comes in your head, I don't want to talk to him anymore.
Yes, sir.
All this conversation got provoked because this is exactly what happened to me yesterday. And then I said to myself, hello, Sukhdeepak, what are you doing? You are judging, Great. Thank you so much, Reddy Garu, for sharing it. Yes, Madam Neeti.
Yes, sir. 2 days back, we had a discussion where I talked about the problem of overload of information and overload of tasks. Since then, what I am making a conscious effort is mentally, when something comes which is new and which is big, I mentally open myself that, okay, I've heard it, and let energies bring it back to me at the appropriate time when I can handle it. And I won't say I remain curious or I remain close to it, but it's just an open feeling. I know it'll come back to me at the right time when I can handle it. Now, I don't know whether this falls into being curious or am I still blocking it?
But you certainly don't have disinterest.
Yeah, definitely.
Now you're saying, yeah, sure, I'd like to know. I'll give you another example. I was in Bhopal recently.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Mrs. Leena's husband and her son, both of them are very senior perceptors in something called the heartfulness meditation. All right. So they were telling me about it. You know? And I was so curious to know more about it. So I was asking Mr. What's his name?
Kelkar
a lot of questions and all that. And he said, would you like to experience it? Right? I said, why not? Okay. So I went, he's got a separate room where he gives that meditation to people. And I said, wow, and I experienced it and it was so great. So next morning when I went, I said, hey, I'd like to experience, I went early, you know, program starts at 9:30, I was there at 9. I said, hey, come early, I want you to give me another session. So he did that. And on the third day, I went again early and he again did that. And then he filled up a form and he gave me an identity card and he said, sir, you are going to Hyderabad, no? So when you go to Hyderabad, there's one place about 1.5 hours from there where we have this big center, and he showed me a video and I said, wow. And I was thinking, oh my God, I wish I had known this before. So I would have put one extra day there in my Hyderabad trip to go to that place. No, I was interested. I mean, yes, somebody doing something, he spent some 10, 12, 15 years doing it. You know, I can't say, oh, I know, I've been all these things all my life. So what more? And it was an amazing experience. I can't tell you how, you know, great I felt. Just sitting there for about 20, 25 minutes and quietly receiving the energy. I felt the same as I felt when I got the SOP. You know? What a wonderful, so the point is, how many wonderful things we would lose out in life and how many wonderful people we would lose out in life because we are not interested or we are pretending to be interested. Now, the worst thing that you can do to you is pretend to be interested. So great. So you're not disinterested, that's for sure. You're just saying, yeah.
What it's also doing is whatever apprehensions I have about the scale of task that is being talked about, I think just keeping my mind open to it is giving me a little time to adjust to the scale of task this would involve. And that is also a preparedness, a step towards preparedness, that if we do proceed that way, my mental readiness should be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, like I'll tell you that Mr. Kelkar gave me a book, a very nice book. Okay.
Okay.
And I am a guy who's so curious, I'd love to read that book immediately. But I haven't yet read it. I'm even carrying it with me here to Chandigarh. I'll take it with me and I'm going to read it. Right? But I want to give that book the, what shall I say, honor that it deserves. To not just cursorily read it. You know, sometimes somebody gives you a book, so you skim through it.
Yeah.
Right? So that is not for me honoring of that. So I would read it. Maybe tomorrow or maybe today in the flight, I'll read it. But when I read it, I'll really read it. So I get it. You follow?
Yeah.
So that's what you're doing. So you're going to, you know, you're curious about something, you parked it and you say, yeah, I will certainly, you know, go deep into it whenever I can give justice to it. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Isn't it? But you're not cutting it out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like sometimes somebody gives you a book and you don't want to read it, but you still take it. And then you just keep it, it's gathering dust. Right? Because you're just pretending, yeah, thank you so much. Right?
Sure. Thanks.
No, that is, I'm sure, not something which you do.
No.
Or maybe you do, who knows?
No.
So good.
I think after that day, I've also opened up to, however heavy the day would be, finding time to read at least 20, 25 pages each day is also taking me forward in my personal development. Reading 20, 25 pages is like 5-7 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes, depending upon the kind of content it is. So that much time I'm trying to schedule into the daily routine.
Yeah, and what you schedule gets handled.
So it's giving me a better feel, like I'm more in command with what I want to do.
Exactly. So for all those people who say, I don't have time to satisfy my curiosity, that is the answer given by Neeti. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what else? Look into your life so that you may realize, hello, what am I doing? Go ahead. Who else? Leena ji, is Leena ji there? I don't think so. I'm just sending her a message. In the meantime, I'd like somebody else to give us some inputs about what they are doing, how they are faring on the curiosity meter. Okay, so this is going to be a silent session from now on.
Sir, I am mostly curious about new things, sir. Not about the routine things. That's what I feel.
Yeah, that's wonderful point that you've come out with, right? Just imagine, so we have labeled certain things as routine things, so we don't have to be curious anymore.
Yes, sir.
But have you ever thought, there's a fellow who was looking at routine things, and he was so curious about how to make these routine things better that he came out with a science of time and motion study. I was reading his book many years back. He says, I was watching how I brush my teeth and how much time it takes to brush my teeth.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And from there, I started observing in our factory how the things are kept and how the things move. Right. And that curiosity of his made him come out with the science of time and motion study.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So somebody who's curious even about routine things. Imagine, what's his name? Isaac Newton sitting under the tree. If he was not a curious person, what do you think would have happened? He would have said, oh, okay, apples fall. It's a routine matter. Apples fall only.
Yes,
they don't go up. But here's a guy who was curious to find out, why does it fall?
He would eat the apple and walk away.
If he was saying it's a routine thingy. Are you not? So because we have classified, judged, put things in slots and, oh, I'm only interested in music. That's what I'm curious about, right? Or whatever. So how can we be adding more richness to our life by allowing ourselves to be more interested? And what are the areas in our life where we are less and less interested? Let me talk to you about the institution of marriage. So when you get married, initially, you're very interested. You're very curious. After some time, that curiosity is gone. Nah? The only I know, when she opens her mouth, what she's going to say. I know. So what happened to curiosity after that? But have you noticed that something went out of it? Because we are not interested. And listen, it's very interesting that the two human beings together in a relationship, they are evolving. They are never the same. So if you have put them in a slot, you've labeled them, you've typecast them, now you're no longer interested in them. So you never see the person who's there now. You are seeing the person who was there 40 years ago when you married them. So you don't have any curiosity about them. What do you think? So look at all the things that are there in our life and what are we doing with them? Question being, what will it take for me to recover my curiosity and start being interested in what we have? Okay, so any comments about that? So having said that, 1 second. One minute. Just excuse me for a moment. Just carry on your conversation, please.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. Actually, the other thing what I was thinking, Nitiji, yesterday also talk was about the curation. So that reminded me, I had read somewhere that before curation, the distraction comes. Like a day before yesterday, I was going to my office. I saw old constructions. So they were demolishing that old construction. And when I asked the watchman nearby, he said that they're going to build some new building. So destruction is required before construction or creation. So if we have to be curious, we have to also introspect to see what exactly is stopping me to be curious, so that I disconstruct that, and then I create or construct new things. So that's the thoughts coming to my mind. Sir is back, so let's welcome him back.
Hello, hello, you guys carry on. See, like what Kunain has just discovered by thinking on this topic. What is opening up for you, the other people? I'm just calling Lena.
Yeah, so for me, it is looking within, finding what's stopping me. And we all know, I have found it is my ego. It comes. Ego says that maintain your identity, you are better, you are superior, but it's not like that. We have to dissolve our identity and find what's new for me. How can I understand something better? So let's listen from Krishna Prasad Chalaru Garu.
Good morning, Kunenji. Good morning, all. I was also thinking when Reddy Garu said that I am also selectively interested. If I like something, I get interested. Otherwise, even if it's happening in front of my eyes, I just try to ignore that. And I don't remember that after some time. Many things happens. Even when, for example, when I meet with my college friends, we studied together along with them 20-25 years ago. I remember a few things which I like. Many things they actually tease me. Oh, you don't remember that? Yes, I don't remember that. So I don't know.
Very interesting. But do you notice one thing interesting here? There also judgment comes in, no? If I like, then I'm interested.
Yeah. Right.
So all of life, this is what is happening. Right and wrong, good and bad. Agree, disagree. This was better, that was better. And maybe that is killing our curiosity. Have you thought about that?
Maybe, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know in my case that I was even judged for being too much curious.
Okay.
When I was a small child, I was curious about everything. I would ask questions about everything. And every time they'll say, you talk too much. Curiosity killed the cat. Things like that they would say. So after some time, you start thinking, okay, maybe curiosity is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on in life, of course, I don't have time to satisfy my curiosity about everything. Therefore, why should I be curious? All that shit. So this is a good one, Krishna, you noticed. And how much other parts of our life.
Say, for example, sir, I never used to care about history. I used to think, why should I even know? Some king actually occupied some other kingdom. Why should I even care about it? It is not going to help me in my life. So why should I even remember those things? And recently, when this war is going on, I was not able to figure out where Ukraine is, where Russia is. Geographically, I'm saying. So I don't know whether these things are. I'm just giving an example. When I think that something is not useful, I don't pay attention to it. But isn't it good? Because I think the brain has got only certain capacity. So you need to remember what matters to you. Isn't it, no, sir?
Yeah, very true. I agree with you. Definitely.
I think 7:30. Yeah.
That is, or you're not closing.
Class cancel.
Okay.
See, you're open to receive it. Like, see, Neeti said, I'm interested in something, I'm curious about it, but right now I don't have the time to pursue it. So I park it and I will pursue it when I can make time for it. See, I'm not saying, oh, you're interested in everything, so you jump into it and spend time doing that. That's up to you, but are you open?
पानी नहीं है बिल्कुल मैंने टैंक करके देखा
हेनरी म्यूट कर लो यार तुम्हारा पानी का प्रॉब्लम हमको सबको सुनाई दे रहा है I get it. So we cut out because we think, "Arey, Baba, how will I handle this?" So focus only on what matters to you, or yeah, because I'll tell you something, KB, if you are not curious, okay, consider the possibility that you might limit yourself.
Okay.
Can I give you an example? Suppose you've made up your mind that I only want to work for a company, I don't want to do business. Correct? You'll never be curious to know how can a person like me can use his talents and expertise to set up a business of his own. You won't even look into it seriously.
Right, sir. Yeah.
Are you getting it? That's a sign of, now you may give many reasons, no, that is not safe. And why should I explore that possibility? I'm never going to do it anyway.
Right.
You get it? But if you were curious and you were interested and you explored it, then maybe you will not say, I'll never do it. Because you may say, oh, I can do. Get it?
Got it. Yeah.
So that's just an example I'm giving you. Similar things many of us are doing.
Okay.
So if you look into your life, you may discover a whole lot of stuff. Right? For a long time, I was not even curious to find out more about all this, online, Zoom programs and all. I was told to conduct program like this about 8 years ago by one company. Okay, they said we will give you studio and we'll do this. Okay. And I had a strong point of view on that. I said, no, these online things, they don't work, So I gave them a good reason and I didn't do it. Somebody else did. And I also did it when I had to. So I was thinking, if I had not closed up that I was not, not curious is equal to not opening up possibilities also, no? We talk about new possibilities, but they may be there in front. I'm not interested in them. So possibility will not materialize for me. So from that point of view, I think.
Right.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. Who else? Okay. Anybody else discovering where you are blocking it? If you are blocking it? No? All right. Then this is a good time to end our session. We don't have to go on for 1 hour just because we said we would. So if anybody wants to talk about something, have a question about something, I am very happy to entertain that. Yes, Abhinav?
Yeah.
Can you?
I'd like
I'm slightly confused about your question because मुझे लगा question पहले कुछ था फिर कुछ हो. What is the question you are asking?
I've been talking for so long.
Is
You're
it
saying
about
कि Ram कौन है?
हाँ, but I'm confused हो गया राम मतलब रामायण और महाभारत में थोड़ा सा confused हो गया.
मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ
Is the question about being
अब
curious?
सुनो, कितनी चीजें हमारी जिंदगी में जिन पे हमने इंटरेस्ट लेना छोड़ दिया है. हम क्यूरियस ही नहीं है और जानने के लिए. मैंने एक एग्जांपल दिया था थोड़ी देर पहले कि जब हमारी शादी होती है नई नई, हम बड़े इंटरेस्टेड होते हैं, क्यूरियस भी होते हैं, है ना? क्योंकि एक नया इंसान आया हमारी जिंदगी में. अभी 20 साल बीत गए, 25 साल बीत गए, वो इंसान नया ही है क्योंकि रोज परिवर्तन होता रहता है. बट हम लोगों का इंटरेस्ट खत्म हो गया ना. वी आर नॉट क्यूरियस एनी मोर. सो देयर आर मेनी थिंग्स इन लाइफ. इस तरह से वी आर नॉट एट ऑल इंटरेस्टेड. जैसे हम बड़े होते जा रहे हैं, वी आर कटिंग आउट आवर क्यूरियोसिटी, वी आर कटिंग आउट आवर इंटरेस्ट. वी आर मोर लाइक जजिंग एंड ओ या मुझे पता है ये मेरी इंटरेस्ट की चीज नहीं है. हो सकती है बड़ी यूजफुल हो. नाउ वी आर ओनली इंटरेस्टेड इन दोज थिंग्स जो हमको लगता है कि बड़े फायदे वाली चीज होगी.
Exactly, Sukhdeepak. So this is what I'm present to. I'm actually scared about new things now. कि कुछ loss ही ना हो जाए, कुछ loss could be financial loss could be in terms of status, loss could be in terms of a relationship going far. So I have what I'm present to is that I've thought like I'm just becoming too defensive in life.
Yeah. So what are we losing out? See, when you are curious about new things and learning new things and knowing new things, it may create something wonderful also, no?
Absolutely.
And even you'll notice something that in our life, the people who stop us, from doing things and learning things and knowing new things, they are also afraid कि पता नहीं ये सीख के पता नहीं इसको क्या हो जाएगा, कहीं छोड़ के ना चला जाए. So that's a good one. How much we are fearful, therefore we cut out so many things in our life. Great, fantastic. Thank you very much, Abhinav. And Samina ji, you wanted to say something? Samina ji, where are you?
Yeah. I had on it, but listening to Abhinav, I shut it again, my mic. Yeah, I'll come to this that, when you said about it could be marriage or what Betriville said, these two things come so close to my heart because also I was not interested in history and the past, I felt in school. But after that in college and later I felt, that no, if we are not knowing about the past, about anybody personal or history-wise, about king or what was the past, how they lived, how are we to judge what's happening now? So the connection has to be there. And if the connection breaks, then you have not got the full info, the knowledge. In the same way, the marriage thing, what you said, or anything where we lose interest is what we as human beings forget is that we are all evolving every second. And the evolvement is so beautiful. And if we stop taking interest in that person, that person does kit or whatever, then we are losing out on the other things which are strengthening our relationship or which is giving us good insight into things we are trying to find out from outside, but it's there
In our own house.
In our own house or within our area of interest. And so I felt, that it was very important to keep connect with everyone, but at the minimal, with people whom you are afraid of or don't like, but yet you keep learning even from them. And even from people like old relations and past history. Now, as you know, because of this war also, I was also wondering, why did I not learn about Ukraine? What is their history? Why that happened? And, yesterday also it had come in there and I was so curious to know so many things. So it sparks a fire of this, knowing imagination. And it's wonderful because then that keeps our interest alive and we never get old.
Exactly. Okay, now one more input for everybody. We are saying that we want to create possibilities in our life. We call ourselves possibility seekers. Can you be possibility seekers if you are not curious and interested? Because if you are not curious and interested, even if possibilities show up right in front of you, you may discard it saying, oh no, this is of no use to me. Right? And again, you'll notice the culprit is going to be this tendency of ours to judge. Interesting, isn't it? So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much for your very, very interesting participation in this conversation. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Acha, one thing, announcement to make. Please check the group today. You will be getting a new link. Yeah. So the old link, today was the last time we could use it. So we'll have a new link. It'll be there on the group in the morning. So please use the new link to join. Got it? Yeah. Now, Kunal, what were you saying?
एक शेर अच्छा सा याद आ गया, इजाजत हो तो पेश करूं?
हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, ऐसे थोड़ी बंद कर सकते हैं बिना शेर सुने.
अर्ज किया है कि जुस्तजू जिसकी थी उसको तो न पाया हमने, जुस्तजू जिसकी थी उसको तो न पाया हमने, इसी बहाने मगर देख ली सारी दुनिया हमने. इसी बहाने मगर देख ली सारी दुनिया हमने.
अरे वाह,
क्यूरियोसिटी से बड़ा मैच करता है ये शेर. So
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. एक बात बताइए, yesterday, अरे कुलदीप जी is here or he's gone?
Kuldeep ji is not here, sir.
Okay, so I wanted to say yesterday he said a very nice share about Nakhun. Do you remember it?
हाँ, उन्होंने अर्ज किया कि तमाम उम्र वो वाला ना,
नहीं, वो नाखून तो काट सकते हैं.
हाँ.
ये आगे. Ask him. to repeat that share. That's such a wonderful one. It should be going on the group. But I
Kuldeep
thought you
sir.
would put it. Nobody did. Kuldeep ji.
कुलदीप सर को मैं दावत सुखन देता हूं कि नाखून और उंगली के बारे में जो आपने एक शेर अर्ज किया था कल वो
दोबारा अर्ज करें.
दोबारा अर्ज करें.
You know that you told a share about नाखून तो काट सकते हैं मगर
उंगलियां नहीं.
सर मुझसे कह रहे हैं?
हाँ जी, आपसे कह रहे हैं. कल आपने जो शेर बताया था वो आपने मुझे भेजा नहीं, मैं कल शाम को याद कर रहा था, तो आप दोबारा बता दें. नाखून तो काटोगे,
नाखून
जाए तो.
सर ठीक है सर. नाखून काटने पर नाखून ही काटे जाते हैं, उंगलियां नहीं.
नाखून बढ़ने पर नाखून ही
नाखून बढ़ने पर नाखून ही काटे जाते हैं, उंगलियां नहीं. इसी तरह रिश्ते में जब दरार आए तो दरार मिटाएं, रिश्ते नहीं.
वाह वाह. प्लीज इसको मेरे को आप मेरे डीपी में डाल दीजिए.
जी सर, जी सर.
वॉइस नोट बना के डाल दीजिए.
मैं दोस्तों,
दिस इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट, वन ऑफ द ग्रेट वंस. ऑलराइट,
बिल्कुल. मेन ग्रुप में भी डाल दीजिएगा. हाँ,
वो मैं डालूंगा ना, बिकॉज़ ही कैन नॉट पुट इट. Once he puts in my group on me, I will pass it on the group. Okay?
सर एक और दो लाइन आपको सुनाता हूँ.
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
अभी याद आई तो कि जिंदगी से शर्त बस इतनी सी है. जिंदगी से शर्त बस इतनी सी है कि जिंदगी में कोई शर्त न हो.
वाह 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 वाह.
अलाउंस पूरा.
This is wonderful also. All right, great. आजकल गोपाल जी नहीं आ रहे हैं. कुलदीप जी, what's happened to him?
हाँ सर, मैं फोन करूँगा.
We are getting worried about him.
I'll call him. I'll call.
And how was your interaction with our Priya ji, sir?
Oh, wonderful. She said she would be joining in the morning, but she didn't. She went for a wedding last night in Delhi. So late ho gayi hogi. So we will hear from her own mouth what the experience was.
Yeah, and I hope Darshana ji is fine, healthy, fit, everything is good, and we'll be blessed to have her every morning. Her wisdom.
Thank you. Inshallah, inshallah.
All right. So on that note, thank you very much. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, ready to begin at 7 o'clock. Please join 5 or 7 minutes before, okay? Because I like to start sharp and end sharp, okay? Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
Stay safe, stay blessed.
Bye-bye, sir.
Bye, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Be curious today, whole day.